at that date. Does that work for you, Ms. Eaton?
It does. Mr. Morphew, Barry, does it work for you? June 30th. Yes.
He's nodding.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hurlbert, how about you?
It works for me, Your Honor, yes.
Would you anticipate being here in person, Ms. Eaton?
No.
Mr. Hurlbert?
I probably will be there, Your Honor, but we can do it early. I'm not that far away.
Okay. Would 9 o'clock work, Mr. Hurlbert?
It would, Your Honor.
Ms. Eaton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we will set for potential arraignment June 30th at 9. Ms. Eaton, Mr. Morphew can appear via WebEx, so can Mr. Hurlbert, but anybody can also be here in person if they choose. Ms. Eaton will have her motions filed by when? Mr. Hurlbert, we'll need, if we're going to argue whether we should go to arraignment or not, Mr. Hurlbert will need a bit of lead time to review the motions. There we go.
Sorry, Your Honor. Because we're still investigating, we can file those motions June 27th.
Judge, then we're not going to motions on the 30th then, because that gives me 3 days.
Well, we're not doing the hearing on the motions on the 30th. I would just need to decide then whether we're doing the arraignment on the 30th or whether the motions that are filed would need resolution prior to arraignment. And I think that's enough time for you.
That should be enough time just to make that easy decision, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. All right, so motions to be filed by June 27. And not all motions, just the motions related to the issues that Ms. Eaton stated right at the beginning of the hearing. Okay, is there anything else we need to do from your end, Ms. Eaton?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hurlbert?
Your Honor, I filed one motion that the court had early on in this case had put in an order that said that the defendant needed to provide the court where his residence is at, and people had just asked that he do that. This was a court order a long time ago. And when I looked in the register of actions today, I did not see that the defendant had provided that.
Okay, there was a motion filed earlier this month regarding Mr. Morphew disclosing his residence as a condition of the personal recognizance bond. Ms. Eaton?
Your Honor, sure. Mr. Morphew does not have a permanent residence. We asked the court to use our address. Mr. Morphew is in excellent contact with me, constant contact, and as his counsel, I'd ask the court respect that. I don't think it's any different than anybody else who doesn't have a permanent residence. I just want the court to note that, Mr. Morphew, is just being harassed currently. He just stepped into town and to take care of some matters to get his hair cut. And immediately, former FBI agent Brucing shows up at the hair salon to ask questions about Mr. Morphew's whereabouts, what he said, what he's doing. And so, this is a real concern for us in terms of this continuing investigation and extension of a failed prosecution. So we'd ask the court honor that Mr. Morphew has counsel, that we've been working with him for the last year. He's in excellent contact with us. We will, if he ends up with a permanent residence, we will honor this request with the court and advise the court under seal, of course, where that address is.
Okay, Mr. Hurlbert?
Judge, people, if they do that, the people just ask that it be suppressed, that the people also have access to it, as opposed to sealed where the people do not have access to it. I understand them not wanting the public to have access to it, but certainly the people have a right to have access to that information.
Okay, so the court order will be that if Mr. Morphew does obtain a permanent residence, he's to disclose that to his attorneys. His attorneys can disclose that to the court. If you are seeking for if you are seeking for that information to be non-accessible to the public, I think this does fall under Rule 55.1. So you would have to file the appropriate motion, and I would take whatever action is legally correct. Until that time, until Mr. Morphew has a permanent address, we will utilize the address of his attorneys. Really, the reason for that on any PR bond is so that the court can contact the defendant if he misses court, or if we need to send documents to him. So that can be satisfied by using Ms. Eaton's professional address.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Probert?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Eaton?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, we will see you all again June 30th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so there we have it, you guys. It's been put over until June 30th. Sorry we didn't catch the very beginning. We missed a minute or two, but obviously they came in not knowing that they're not going to be proceeding today. So at least we were able to see that and get the date when he will be up next. But obviously they are still, let me just hang on a sec, you guys. I'm just trying to get out of this now. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, I just got my power back, so I've been sitting here anxiously waiting. All right. Okay, there we are. Sorry about that, you guys. So as we see, it has been put off until June 30th at 9 a.m., which will be 11 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, like I don't get that. I think that he is worried about giving an address of where he's living because he's worried about not only people going and stalking him and watching him and whatever. He wants some kind of heads up this time, I think, if they're going to come and arrest him. So not knowing where he lives, which means the police or nothing know where he lives. If they get an arrest warrant to go and arrest him, they have to go through the court and try and get it that way, which may take some time, or through his attorneys, which would give him a heads up, right? Yeah, they're going to push it off just like they have everything else. They're going to push it off as long as he can and drag it out and whatever. But yeah, I was trying to figure it. I don't have a generator for, well, even if I would have had a generator, I wouldn't have had any internet. So I wouldn't have been able to bring it to you. But yeah, our power was out. Another storm came through. If you guys haven't seen it online, you can Google Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We had a major storm go through this past weekend that they said it was a tornado, F2 or something. Not in my area, but lower down in Ottawa. And it did some really bad damage there. And intermittently, because of the power grids and the way they're set up, they have to turn off power grids. So I know a lot of people in that area of Ottawa still don't have power since that storm went through. I think it was Friday night. But yeah, so apparently I haven't heard nothing on the search for Suzanne. Apparently the snow is all gone from there now. So we've heard nothing about that at all. Whether they've gone searching for her, because they said that they knew where she was. It was under 5 feet of snow. We haven't heard nothing about that. I know others are out there and looking. I won't say who. Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm so sorry I was late. Like I said, I just got my power back. So, as we seen, we missed the first minute or two of that, but I was able to get up and going. Thank the good Lord. But it has been put off, like, you know, if it follows like the last case did, this is put off until June 30th at 9 a.m. Colorado time, which would be 11 a.m. Eastern. Dawn says it was bad. We had power, but man, trees and power lines down all over. Yeah, like there was a whole street lines of power lines down. But yeah, so as far as I know, you guys, Barry is still staying between the Cushmans and I think Gunnison. I think he's been moving around because, as you heard there, he went for a haircut and one of the officers went in and started asking him questions or whatever. We haven't heard much about Shoshana, so I think that's done and over with. And I've been noticing that Iris Eaton hasn't been wearing any wedding bands. So I don't know. I don't want to put any rumors out there, but that kiss on the lips at the end of the last trial, when it was dismissed without prejudice, that kiss on the lips and the hugging of the two girls and telling them the girls telling Iris how they love her and Iris telling them how she loves them, and then the kiss on the lips with Barry. It's, you know, and Shoshana seems to be out of the picture. I guess anything's possible. And now she wants the courts to use her address at the office for his address. I don't know. It's just, I'm getting that feeling. You guys know when I get that feeling in my gut. And I've noticed that, well, she's apparently married, but I noticed that she hasn't been wearing any wedding rings. And that's clearly seen in the last video when Barry was dismissed without prejudice. When she walked out to the truck, you could clearly see she did not have any wedding bands on. So, pity he didn't ask for a closer shave, Robin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It was disgusting. And I caught that right away. Now everybody's talking about it now, but I wasn't seeing anybody talking about it. And I showed you guys first, like, look at you guys. Why isn't anybody talking about this? It looks exactly like they kissed right on the lips. And then now everybody's talking about it. So people have done videos on that where they've zoomed in and different angles and everything else. And she definitely kissed him right on the lips. And then before he got in his truck, he turned and kissed her on the cheek after whispering something in her ear. But yeah, and it's what she said to the daughters. I love you girls. And then the girls, we love you too. And the big hugs. And it's like, where's that love and concern for your mother? You know, so it's like, Sherry, in Sherry's opinion, says I haven't seen it. If you go back to my video, if you go to my page, click on the video tab at the top and scroll through there and look where it says where he was dismissed with prejudice. It's in that video. Yeah, and it's like we watched that live right here. We watched it. And it's like, wait a minute, you guys. And I backed it up. If you guys remember, I backed it up and we watched it and rewatched it. I said, why is no one talking about this? She just kissed him on the lips. Okay, sis, drive safe. I hope you got the tracking number that I sent. I sent your parcel out yesterday. And now everybody's talking about it. So, and like I said, there's better videos out there now on it. Like I just got the one that was being shown by the news, but people have, I don't know how they do it, but they zoom in on that video and everything else, and you can really see it. But it's like, and we started talking about that, and it's people are coming across it now or just hearing about it, and a lot of people didn't know. But yeah, I seen that right away. I watch for stuff like that, right? Okay. No. Copper petals. We're not going to be putting stuff like that out here, please. Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to know what she whispered what he whispered in her ear, like, I'll meet you later. Yeah, it was and if you guys remember, as we were watching that live, when Eaton addressed everybody after court, and we were watching it live, and then she walked with him to the truck, like, I've never seen stuff like that before. And it's like, oh my God, look at what I just caught. And we played it over and over, and then the hugs and what was said with the daughters. And it's disgusting. So, I mean, he could get jail time for this, you guys. It's all going to depend. I know it could also be a very hefty fine. Depending. Now, don't forget, you guys, the voter fraud is the one charge, and the trying to influence of an official. There was a lot of talk of people thinking that he was trying to bribe one of the cops or something like that. That also has to do with the voter fraud. Also, I have been watching for, let me just see here. Let me just check this before I make a comment on it. Just give me a second. I'm just looking for some court documents here. We still don't have the order regarding Lori Vallow. Yes, I did hear Jose Ramos passed away. We still do not have, if you guys remember, as we're waiting on this here, if you guys watched the last time I covered the Lori Vallow, her last court appearance, the judge took or went under advisement to see if he's going to separate the trials or if he's going to move Lori's trial to June 9th, which I don't think should be done because it gives Lori, if the judge forces Lori to go to trial, put it this way, January 9th, when she has refused to waive her right to a speedy trial, if he forces her to go to January 9th, which would not be a speedy trial and it would go against her rights, that's an automatic appeal, and she could walk on all the charges because of that. So I don't think the judge is going to risk that. So there's really only one of two decisions he can make. He can either split the trial and have two trial dates, one October 11th, starting October 11th for Lori, and one starting January 9th for Chad, or he can move Chad's from January to October 11th and do them together. But that is also a reason for appeal, because they've already set a court date and it's been made known that his lawyers need that time to prepare. So either way, if he does not split up the trials and have two separate trials, Lori will probably walk. She would have a reason hang on, for the appeal. On the appeal process, she would walk. Absolutely, she would walk. And I don't think they're going to risk that. And Chad would have grounds for appeal because they moved his when a date was already set and they didn't have enough time. You know what I mean? If they move it up to October. So I do believe that the judge, in my honest opinion, the right thing to do is to sever the two trials. But I'm still waiting on, he left us on the last court date under advisement, and he said that he would post it very soon. Well, whatever his decision is, and there's no decision on that yet. No decision has come back yet. So I just wanted to check that to make sure before I said anything, because I've been checking it daily. Okay, let me just check chat here. Well, I believe it's because he's the money ticket. Their father is the money ticket. And it's the only parent they have left now. So if you guys don't know who Jose is that everybody's talking about in chat, that has to do with the Summer Wells case. Jose is the guy that came to work with somebody's husband and blah, 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 and ended up getting left there. And Allie was with Jose at Candace's. That's when Dawn had left with one of the sons and moved back to Utah or something. Jose is the guy that was there at Dawn and Candace's house. I wasn't prepared to talk about that today. But he has been on a few of the other YouTubers. We're not going to mention them all here or any of them, but he was on YouTube on some of the other channels speaking with them about what he had seen and whatnot when he was at Dawn and Candace's house. He has passed away. Yeah, I don't think the Wells house was the best place for him to go either. And let's not judge you guys, because the man did have mental health problems. Whatever those problems may be, it's not up to us to judge. From what I've heard about him, he was really trying to turn his life around. He did the right thing. A lot of people are condemning him for not having contact with his kids and stuff like that. He did that for a reason, because he was scared of his mental health issues and he didn't want those mental health issues to affect his children. So he ghosted them. Ghosting them is a right thing to do? Probably not, but it's not up for us to judge how he dealt with and protected his children from the things that maybe he was going through. But yes, he has passed away. So if they had any inclination of bringing him as a witness or anything, I hope they did a videotape deposition with him, because that's all they're going to have now. You can't interview somebody who's deceased. So hopefully they have a lot of depositions with him that are recorded, video recorded, as well as audio. Yes, I do. It's, people with mental health issues, they have a very rough life, and it's not up for us to make it worse for them, right? I hope he rests in peace too. Yes, I've done a couple of videos on that, Dawn. If you go to my video tab on my YouTube page, click the video tab, they're all there. You have to scroll through the videos. I've done several on that. Yeah, he did tell it like it was, so. Hello, Cindy. I know my sister is here too, but she is driving. Cat H is here. Hello, Cat H. Autopsy and toxicology pending. Yeah. Sadly, I do believe it was an overdose, you guys. That's what I'm just getting my gut feeling. So for those of you just joining, Barry Morphew, he didn't look good. We seen him on video. He did not look good. Refused to give an address of where he's staying. He's saying that he's being stalked and harassed. Even when he went for a haircut, he said that one of the officers came in and started questioning him. He doesn't want his address publicly available. So his Iris Eaton said that they could use her business address. There's a creepy connection with them too, with Iris Eaton and Barry. Barry didn't look like he was in a homeless shelter or anything. So wherever he is right now, I think he may have been at one of his daughters in Gunnison. I mean, I don't think he'd be hard to find anyway for somebody who does want to find him and find his address. I don't think it's going to be very hard to find him. Hello, everybody coming in. Okay, Betty Smith, we don't mention other channels here, please. You guys, we are not mentioning other channels here. You start mentioning other channels and stuff like that, that's when you get brought into the drama of what's going on in the YouTube crime community, and I'm not going to do that. So I do not mention other channels on my channel, please, or other creators. I don't think he was living in the streets. He did give us a lot of insight into Summer's life, yes. Yes, my sister is driving. She's got some doctor's appointments today, and she's got some stuff to ship out to me. I shipped out hers yesterday. So we're both going to be getting little boxes from each other. I always love seeing stuff coming from my sister. I sent her a full body heating pad for her aches and pains. Comes right up back of the neck and around the shoulders anyway. So yeah, I sent that out to her yesterday. Hopefully that helps with some of her aches and pains. And she's cold a lot too, so yeah, please make sure you selected live chat at the top. Tanya, no, and I do not want to. I do know that he is on other channels now, pulling the same thing. He did call me by accident, not knowing who he called, acting all like he's still got to go and get ashes and stuff like that. So yeah, it seemed no matter where he went, he always banged into somebody who was on drugs or in a bad place, right? Well, you have fun being, and with that, enjoy your flower arranging. Yeah, he's still carrying on with the lies. So, okay, so that's it, you guys. Barry will be back in court on June 30th. We don't know where he's living because he says he doesn't have a permanent residence. He could have given a temporary residence, but he doesn't want to do that. Des, I'll talk to you about stuff like this offline, please. I'm going to give you a call as soon as I get offline. But, okay, you guys, I'm going to let you go for now. I'll see you again with this. If anything else pops off, I will jump on and bring it to you. I'll be keeping an eye on the Lori Vallow incident thing and see if the judge has put in an order regarding that. And we'll see you again shortly. Please take care of yourself. Please stay safe. Thank you for my mods for being here. Love you to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.